What's up, everybody? This is Kenny Cummins here, chilling with Kenny C right here on TMVCafe.com, bringing your entertainment to your ears. And I gotta come through with the local music side, indie music side. Got some hip hop artists, MCs, extraordinaires. One of them, from my understanding, has a new project coming very, very soon.
Yes, sir.
So
Drops at midnight tonight.
is
If
there?
this is uploaded tomorrow, then technically it's going to be out right now if
Yeah,
they're watching it tomorrow. But
yeah.
yeah, yep, drops on the 8th.
Uh, we got I Hate Corey, and we got Trill Phill joining us right here, right now. How's it going, fellas?
Doing pretty good, man. Pretty good. I'm ecstatic to drop this project and whether being on our side, have an album release party show at Cloud 1100 in Lexington this Saturday to perform the album top to bottom and little after party performances after. So, pretty good spirits right now.
Hey, you gotta do you gotta do what we gotta do here in Kentucky, even with these snow times that we are living in. It's been pretty hectic, for being honest. At least it wasn't like the snowstorm in 2009. So we got
Yeah,
that going
facts.
for
I'm trying to remember how old I was in 2009, man. I was
us.
born in 98, so 11? Yeah, it's 11 years old. I still kind of remember it, but a little faintly.
Yeah,
I was 18. I remember it. It's bad.
yeah, it was dreadful. Definitely one of the worst experience I've ever witnessed here as a Kentuckian.
Mm.
Um, no power for like a week. I lived with the family at the time. I think I was just got out of college or something like that. It was just, man, we gotta be thankful for what we have, man, because things could get worse, bro. So, uh,
Facts.
so I've been familiar with Corey for quite some time. So, and Phil, this is my first time interacting with you. Um, so Corey, man, new project coming out on the midnight. Um, you mentioned you got a album release show, Clout or 100 here in Lexington this coming weekend. Um, how you feeling, man? Knowing that you're in for a busy couple of days.
I'm very excited to not only share the project with everyone. I think it's kind of something that the Lexington scene needed as far as this project goes. Reason I say that is Lexington, of course, doesn't have as much publicity as I believe it should. I think we have so many talented people down here. And so, I took this album as an opportunity to try and work with as many artists that are from around here, a couple from the 502 area as well. Shout out those guys. But just trying to put as many people on the map as I possibly can. I figured, it's kind of like a scratch their back, it scratches mine. I got a ton of dope artists on my project. In exchange, a bunch of dope artists have a project that they can promote. And, everyone's trying out different flavors on there and kind of gives everyone some exposure if the project does do numbers. So I'm pretty excited for that. And, blessed to have Trill too, man. Honestly, none of this would be possible without Trill. He's literally the backbone and the engine to the car that I drive in this, hip hop scene. So shout out that guy for sure. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited, man. I mean, I can't even really put it into words, man. We put in countless nights of recording, his mixing and mastering, and I mean, he does it down to a science, man. I mean, it's like watching someone do chemistry when you're watching him on FL Studio. It's insane. And this project was fueled on late nights, black coffee, and McDonald's. That's literally what kept us fueled and running during this whole process. But yeah, I'm excited to share it with everyone, man. It's got the root hip hop sound to it, a lot of boom bap, a lot of grimy to it, entendres, and then there's a few tracks on there too where I just get a little bit more vulnerable, talk about some things I went through in my childhood, some things I've seen, dealt with, been through, and so I think overall it's a beautiful project, and it's themed around my son in a sense. Basically, just kind of comparing my childhood to the things I can do for him now that I didn't get to have growing up, and so yeah, it's just it's kind of like kind of a project where I can kind of flex what I'm doing now. Still talk about some real life problems, but in comparison to the way I grew up, compared to what I can do for him as a father, it's just basically, you can kind of just hear the growth throughout the project. And then of course, it's a hip hop album, it's a boom bap album, so there's just a lot of gritty bars in there because that's always been my style and approach to how I rap and uh, you know put myself out there. Really, that's basically how I stand out. I don't have a singing voice. I could make some hits if I want to, but just the root hip hop sounds what I fell in love with, and just I feel like I've kind of mastered that portion of the craft. So I'm just excited for everyone to hear it.
That's
That was
good
a
to hear.
ramble, but yeah. So that's how I'm feeling though. Yeah, that's me trying to put it into words for you.
Hey, we're cool with the ramble, man.
Mhm.
You should be very proud of this project that you're
Mhm.
about to release, and that a lot of that you're gonna have people listening to it. People have been very eager about this project for quite some time.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
just so I sense a lot of joy in your tone
Mhm.
about this project. So people have been wanting it, and now they just got to wait a few more hours for this
Yep.
project to be released. So Phill, talk about your contributions to this project, man. How does it feel? How you feel for your side about this project, man?
Well, man, I'll try to summarize this as best I can, because I tend to ramble sometimes too. But like, I met Corey when he was like 16. I was working at Dairy Queen. I had just got out, and my life was not in a good area there. But he was always intrigued by my ability to record music, and I was rapping, making beats, and all that. And we lost touch due to some personal things I had going on, but we met up. Well, we interacted again at random on Facebook, and I just reached out to him like, "Why don't you get on this song with me?" Just just screwing around, and it turned into we started this duo, men in rap, and it's just amazing to me because I got to see Corey just going from like I just have to sound hard to him being like, you know what, I need to be authentic. I just need to be myself. You know what I mean? And like this album is like a real testament to authenticity, right? Like it's you get to see Corey for who he is on it. You know what I mean? Like even on the songs where he's going bar heavy and stuff like that, he's being himself. He ain't what they say, like, capping in his rhymes or nothing like that. He's being all the way truthful. You know what I mean? Talking about like his struggles and what he's going through and stuff like that. But as far as my contribution goes, like I told him way back then, like, oh yeah, man, I'll definitely get with you. I'll help you out. And then I got locked up, never really got a chance to do that. And here we are, like, I don't know, what is it, 10, 12, something years later, and I
10
finally
years,
get to
man.
come.
It's been
Yeah.
I think it's been 10 years. When I met you was 2015 when we worked at Dairy Queen. So yeah, it's been about 10 years.
Yeah, so I finally get to come through on that, like I get to keep my word on that. So I did my best to produce it. I made the beats as good as I possibly could, like I let him just basically get free reign over my catalog of beats. He could, whichever ones you like him, man, you get to use them. Anytime you need to record, you get to, just come through and do that. And I'll do my absolute best on the engineering side of it. And I feel like it's some of my best engineering work and production work. And Corey, and what is it? You got 20 features on this. He got a lot of people on here. They all did their thing on these beats. So like, uh, the beats and the engineering and all that, they're good. But man, these artists that came through, Corey came through. They really made them smack. You know what I mean? I ain't got
Yeah.
a better analogy. It sounded good. I'm looking forward to seeing people's reactions to it.
Hmm.
So, what I admire about this conversation, what I admire about you two is it's deeper than music with y'all. Like y'all know each other for over a decade, and y'all always wanted to collaborate. Y'all always wanted to do music together. Went through the ups and downs, obviously, but never lost the focus and everything. Um, I've been living in Lexington for half my life, and I think 10 of those years I've been focusing on supporting local music, and I've always felt that Lexington has had a solid music scene. It just feels like we just need more ears and more eyes. You know, we need people to check out these shows the same way they show love to these mainstream acts that we all listen to. Um, Lexington has talent, supporting. That's the thing, like spreading the word, going to these shows. Like it doesn't get any intimate than going to a local show and seeing artists from the same city, same neighborhood, or same county. To you know, it's I local music saved my life. Literally, it really did. It gave me a purpose to give y'all this platform to hear y'all stories and to hear what y'all have cooking, literally. Um, so this is going to be an incredible project. Um, I like the artist and producer chemistry that y'all got going. Like y'all know what y'all wanted to do with this project. Y'all know what y'all wanted to focus on. And I appreciate you, Corey, for the boom bap. Well, Phill in
Hmm.
particular, because he doing the beats now. Uh,
Oh, dude, it's
so
I can't wait to hear what you think about it whenever it comes out, man. You definitely have to let me
I
know.
look, I do listen to like a variety of hip hop, but at this stage of my life, like I like to party myself, but I've become a boom bap head at this point. Just boom bap heavy, just wiping your ass off type of ordeal. And I'm very excited about what y'all got cooking and the features and I'm pretty sure we got some mutual friends with
Yep.
these features.
Hmm. Yep.
So I see that. So you got the album's coming out on Wednesday,
Yep.
and on Wednesday you're gonna have an album stream party tomorrow, and see it goes back to the mutual friends.
Hmm.
Shout out to Shimmer, formerly known as Mike Hero. Yeah, gonna have this album stream party at 7 p.m. Shout out to Shimmer. He's doing his thing with music and doing interviews and stuff like that. Um, so we're gonna the album's gonna come out anyway.
Yep.
But so get with it. Tap in, Corey, with Phill, with all the artists out there in Lexington doing their thing. How you feeling, man? Having this album stream party with Shima on Wednesday.
Feel pretty good, man. And shout out Shima for that, man. He's just doing it for the love. He hit me out of nowhere himself days and days ago, and asked if I wanted to do it, and I was like, of course. He blessed us the first album that we dropped too. Um, he did a full stream there. Now, granted, we was able to do it in person. That was our original goal, based on weather and other factors. Tomorrow's probably going to be something similar, probably just from in our own homes, kind of doing it. But yeah, he pulled up the trills. I wasn't able to make it. I was on dad duty. I'm on dad duty today, but he's in his room. But he was at Trills, and they had a table set up. Chill cousin William Jackson, he was there, and we just played through and got different opinions on everything. People were tapping in, showing love in the comments. So as good as that first initial project was, I'm very excited for the work that's been put into this one. So I cannot wait to see what everyone thinks on that stream tomorrow. I'm very excited to see what people have to say.
Man, I may have to come through. I haven't seen Shimmer in a minute, so I'm about to slide on in on Wednesday for that one.
For sure.
I believe the name of the project's called Fifth Street Made.
Oh, so
Uh,
so it'll be Fifth Street. I think he just titled the stream Fifth Street Made. I think that's just kind of like saying like I'm a product of Fifth Street or something, like I'm Fifth Street Made maybe. But
yeah,
yeah, so the project is just called Fifth Street.
Fifth Street, gotcha.
Yep.
Fifth Street is the
Yep.
name of the project from I Hate Corey. That's
Hmm.
coming out at midnight. So go check that out. Yeah. Since you mentioned, you're a proud father, um, and the album cover looks really cute. You
Hmm.
and your son on top of the car, and he's pointing at something. I don't know what he's pointing at. He's just pointing. Uh, so what was that like to have, your son for the album cover?
So the album cover, I put a lot of thought into it, right? Because I try to be conceptual whenever I do things, make everything relative to the project itself. Like the art, even down to the cover art, I wanted to represent, give you kind of a theme feeling just looking at it, right? Like imagery. Like you can read a book, but when you turn a book into a movie and you get that imagery, it just adds that extra flavor to it. Really makes you feel what the author of it was wanting you to feel. So in that picture, there's a couple Easter eggs about it too. So the hood of the car that we're sitting on is the current beater I'm driving right now. I downgraded right to save money on car payments because I hit a rough patch for a while, and real life shit. And
Yeah,
so the hood, so the car we're sitting on is an '04 Laro. I name drop it, I think, once or twice in the project. But the Easter eggs in it is that if you look at the roof of the building that's behind us,
yeah,
actually, we took that picture on Fifth Street down in Nicholasville, where I grew up. And that was the house. That was like the earliest memory of a house I had growing up in my childhood. Well, I lived there for a little while. I was pretty young, but I still remember a good amount of things about it. And a lot went on in that house. Not a lot of good, a lot of bad stuff. And basically, again, the inspiration for this, the theme of the project is just kind of like me just getting my shit done, going hard for my kid. Because whenever I grew up there, my father wasn't like that, and never had a connection with him. He was an abusive alcoholic, very just a very bad person at the time. And so, all the memories I had there was just my mom being abused and, us getting mistreated, malnourished, all that stuff. So, I figured, I want to go here. I want the background to kind of be like, that's like my past. It's behind me. And then right here in front of me, you just see my kid in my lap. And we're both, fit matching, color coordinated. And he's pointing over. Now, that was just to get like a good pose, right? So
yeah.
Chico Rose came and shot the cover for me for only $20, for the love of it. So shout out Chico, he's a good guy. And we was just pointing over, but right across the road is the elementary school I grew up at too. So he was pointing over there towards that area, and I was just looking at what he was pointing at. But yes, that's kind of the theme for it, man. That was my childhood, my earliest memory, childhood home behind us, and then that's kind of just like leaving all that bad shit back there, and then the imagery of him sitting in my lap and us just chilling is like it's behind me now. Like this is me now. Like this is my future in my lap, which is my kids. So that was the theme behind the whole album art.
That's dope, man. And yeah, the kid, he literally looks just like you, man. He literally
Spitting image.
does. This
Spitting
is
image, man. I'd have to show you a comparison picture of us both at 2 years old. Everyone I show it, I kid you not, it's down to every detail. We're identical. So you wouldn't need a DNA test to know he's mine.
yeah, man. Fifth Street. Shout out to Nicholasville, man. I've been in that city. It's a nice city. They got some music venues there. They got some places for local artists as well. So shout
Yeah.
out to Nicholasville. They doing their thing there. Lexington, what up? 859-502, everyone doing their thing. Got I Hate Corey and Phill joining me. Shout out to them both, man. And I want to go back to the artist producer dynamic that y'all got going, man. Like that's what I grew up listening to. You know, I'm talking Mob Deep and Alchemist. I'm talking Gangstar. I'm talking
Hmm.
like Jay Dilla or Common.
I
You
was
know what
just
I'm
listening to
saying?
some Mob Deep a little bit ago, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, before I left the house a couple hours ago, I was bumping some Mob Deep.
yeah. Well, R.I.P. to Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the dopest hip hop groups of all time. And every now and then you listen to some Survival of the Fittest. You
That
know,
was one of the songs I listened to earlier.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
Survival of the Fittest, man.
Hmm.
Like if you need something, man, get you in the mood, go to work in the morning. Yeah, yeah. Put some Survivor of the Fittest on. Definitely puts you in that mood.
Facts.
So and shout out to Cloud 100. Um, I've been familiar with that building for a long time. Shout out to Wallow Green. Shout out to all everybody that does shows there. It's been a very active place. Now,
It's been
Lexington
growing. It's been growing a lot too.
is a growing place. So there's some other venues that do have hip hop, but they're not consistent with it. Um, and so I'm glad that there's Cloud 100 that does these shows strictly just hip hop and R&B, acts that do that, man. So props to Wallow, man. He's a real one. And everyone that's in charge of that building. So how you feeling, man? You've been in that building a lot, and now here you are. And later this weekend, you're gonna have the release show for the official in person album release. Uh, so how's it feel, man, to have your official album release in that building?
I'm pumped, man. And funny thing about it is too is the first true live performance I've really done was there with Trill back in March of 2024. We went up to Memories. I think Hybrid, the rapper at the time, was doing a Hustle and Flow. And
Yeah,
we went up there. I met Shima in person for the first time there, and Shima had mentioned something to us about coming to this place called Cloud 1100 for some open mic, and we could perform. Now, me been itching to perform because I've never really done it. I was like, well, hell, if it's an open mic, it's a stage with a microphone, and there's people that will listen to me. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go do that. So we ended up going, and so funny thing about that too, man. I wasn't sure exactly what to expect. It was a great time. I still have it on video of people's reactions when we first went. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, I'm a skilled rapper. My breath control live though is not the best. So we went in there with no backing, and I definitely lost my breath a couple times because I was going in on a verse and I'm loud and vocal, and yeah, so cut out a few words, but overall, people loved the performance. Afterwards, people were, cheering, applauding. You hear DT in the, you hear Shima in the background. That's like, fuck them up, fuck them up. So I'm sitting there feeling myself, right? But that's like the first place that me and him actually got to like perform any minute rap type of content at. And just from there, man, we started going to more open mics. Next thing you know, they're booking us for like the little session shows that they have. We done a couple of those. We did Shima's birthday bash. Got to just we made a lot of connections there. A lot of networking happened. But more or less, man, like it's like a house. We're like I feel like we're kind of like household names there. Like we walk in the door and everybody recognizes us. Haven't been able to go as much often recently and had a lot of other things I've had to do and take care of. But every time I walk in there, whether it's every other week or hell once a month or in a couple months, it's always the same amount of love, man. So I'm excited to do the show there, and excited to have that whole window from 7 to midnight just to fuck it up, perform the whole album, and then I also have an after party afterwards where a few people that's going to be performing there as well to have some just fun vibes, laid back vibes afterwards too. Because it's going to be a lot of boom bap. So you get a little different variety afterwards to kick it to people and all the artists. That's the thing too. Other than Rise Hendricks, who lives up in New York,
yeah,
every artist is coming and they're going to perform just their features. So I want to shout out all of them as a whole. I'm blessed to have all of them on the project, but then to show the love to make the trip out there on a cold ass weekend just to do a verse,
yeah.
most of them that's love, man. And again, that's the thing about the community. Like we're super tight. And so I'm just so excited for everyone to get to network with each other. I'm definitely hoping to hear some artists that I've gotten on my project to collab and at least make a song or something out there, amongst each other that I can listen to. So it's a lot of love, man. I'm super pumped for it. I'm very optimistic too. I think it's gonna be a great turnout. And I'm yeah, just really excited to showcase what I have there. I think everyone's gonna love it.
Definitely gonna be a good time. Hopefully the weather won't be too overwhelming by then. I'm
Hmm.
thinking as of right now, the weather is just gonna be cold, that we're not gonna get any additional snow and ice and whatnot. So let's just hope it stays that way, at least for
Hmm.
this weekend. Because I know you put a lot of work into it. You, Phil, everyone. Shout out to Wise Hendricks. You know, he got Kentucky ties here, obviously.
Yep.
Went to
K State.
KSU.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, he's a dope rapper himself. He's also known for the funny, hilarious content with the weird bars. You know,
I
I'm
was just
pretty
watching
sure.
one he uploaded a few minutes ago, actually, before we hopped on here. I was just scrolling through Facebook, and he had one of those like when the lyrics don't match the beat songs on there.
Yeah, like
Man, that shit makes me laugh my ass off every damn time.
bruh.
He's so goofy. That's the thing about him, though, man. So, like, real quick about Rise
Yeah.
too. I met him for the first time at a Hustle and Flow. Shout out Hybrid for having me on that. He's had me on a couple now, and which is dope. But Rise Hendricks was at that one, right? So I'm excited to meet him. Like obviously he's an internet personality, and a lot of people know him. And kid you not, first conversation I had in person with him, we was backstage taking a piss in the bathroom. And they have like a so at Memories they had like this recliner in like a separate cut off wall room connected to the bathroom. And I
Mhm.
was just talking to him. I'm a little lit. I've had a couple drinks, so is he. So I sit down in this recliner and there's like a chair next to it. So we just sit down and I just start talking to him. I'm like, oh, so you're Rise, right? And he's just like, yeah, man. I'm like, well, dude, like, it's dope to meet you. Like, hopefully you like what I have going on. And he's just like, yeah, really genuine personality, man. Like, honestly, super chill, super humble guy. Pulls out like a gallon of Tito's and he's like, you want some? I was like, why are you asking? Pour me a shot. So we ended up taking a shot backstage, man, and had a good rest of our night. Took some pictures, and then me and I ended up telling him, I was like, hey man, I was like, I know you got bars too, like all the funny stuff aside. I was like, I know you got some bars. I was like, let's work on something. So I scored his number, and D Lil was there with me at the time, and D Lil was like, hey man, you gotta get me on that joint. I'm like, D Lil, you're day one, bro. Like I got you. And then so I took it back to Trill, and I was like, Trill, obviously I want you on here too. So ended up getting Trill, and then I got my dude Blake, my one of my day one supporters. He's teased the idea of trying to rap, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna put you on the spot, bro. I'm gonna put you on a song with us and a heavy hitter like Rise Hendricks. As far as someone that known, and we're gonna rap. So we have a song on there called 5 Minute Drill, and it's just literally 5 straight minutes of 1 minute verses between all of us just spazzing, and it turned out pretty good. So but anyways, yeah, Rise Hendricks is a really dope guy too.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Wise, man. He's doing his thing out there in Buffalo, New York, which is a heck of a lot colder weather-wise than here in Kentucky. Uh,
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, Wise. Like, I know Kentucky's rough, but New York, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole new stratosphere
Hmm.
within itself. Just saying, brother. You doing your thing, man. We're happy for you. Check out this show, man. Check out the stream show with Shima. That's tomorrow. That's Wednesday on the same day that the album comes out, Fifth Street. And then go check out the in-person album release show. A lot of performers. And Corey's going to be performing songs off that record for the first time. So you talked about performing, the breath control, things like that. Um, it's one thing to just the countless hours in the studio recording these songs, making sure everything sounds the way it's supposed to be. Now, just days away, you get to perform these songs for the very first time. You know, it hits. That's the satisfying part of being an artist. Is
Hmm.
after the album is out, after people has hear it and listen to it, and now you're gonna get to perform these songs live for the first time. Like, how you feeling about just showing people, man? Look, yeah, I heard the music. Now you're gonna hear me literally spit these bars. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? How you feeling about getting to perform these songs for the first time?
Man, dude. I mean, like obviously they get to hear it. They get to hear it in all of its clarity and non-live performed version. So they really get to just replay, digest, everything that they can up until that point. But the way I like to look at performing it live, right, is I always like to bring energy when I perform, and I love to put the emphasis on how the vibe I'm bringing with it. My tone of voice, everything's going to match that. The way I think about it
Yeah,
is, it might sound goofy, but the way I think about it, right, is you're talking to a baddie, right? And she might snap you a picture inside of this nice little sundress, right? Ass poking out. That shit look nice on the picture. But good and damn well though, once you see that thing in person, it's just gonna hit different, right? So I feel like it's kind of the same way with the music too, right? Like it's
yeah,
like, yeah, you can listen to it in your car, headphones, off your phone, whatever you decide to do. But when you come experience that vibe, the lights are down, we're all just crowded, nobody's attention's on whatever else is going on. It's just the music in the moment. I feel like, that's really the time that you actually get to capture the vibes. And then, obviously, like, you'll hear it in my tone of voice, my body language, throughout each song, whether I'm going hard or I'm sitting down for a second talking to you, and, probably some awkward eye contact with you. But, it's just going to hit different though. And then I feel like that's really going to help people capture like the just the energy of the album and the whole vibe of it. So
yeah.
I'm super excited to see how people's reactions are in person. I know everyone's going to show a lot of love, and I got a lot of respect and report or support from people in the local scene and around. So I know it's going to be a great night, and I know it's going to be very heartfelt, heartwarming for me. So I just can't wait. I just can't wait to see how people react to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I Hate Corey, Fifth Street, coming out this Wednesday, midnight. Go check it out on all the streaming platforms. Shout out to Phill on the beats, doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the features, the mix, the mastering. Shout out to everybody, man, that's making this record possible. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm glad you brought up the boom bap because I'm a boom bap heavy person, um I'm looking forward to it, man. Congratulations,
Thank you, thank you. I
for
appreciate it.
to you and to Phill. I want to thank y'all both for being here. Um, I've been blessed to run into a lot of good people in the music scene. It don't matter where their status are. It's everyone I've ran into have been nothing but love and just say, hey man, we love what you're doing for the scene. So, all I could do is just keep supporting and spreading the word on artists like yourselves. And y'all got a good thing going. And Cloud 1100, man, shout out to them. You know, if no one else is gonna do it, they're gonna do it. So
Hmm.
spreading the word on some authentic hip hop, R&B, soul, all that, man. It's gonna be a good weekend. It's gonna be a night to remember. So if you ain't got no plans, please make it to Cloud 1100 at Lexington Saturday evening. It's gonna be, and I'm gonna just say this from my experience being in that building. You may want to get there early, because
Hmm.
it's
Yep.
going to be pretty packed. So just putting it out there. If you haven't been in that building in person before, get there early. Get there early. At least get there before it gets dark, because you're probably gonna have a hard time finding a parking spot too.
Yeah, you got
So
to park under that bridge. And
yeah, under
the
that
thing
bridge.
about, yeah, and Cloud has a lot of space. The only thing is it's the building design's kind of like a double decker shotgun house. So you got a lot of narrow, not a lot of width. So, like whenever you are trying to get to the stage, you got to get up there early, or else you're going to be in
Yeah,
the back
yeah, you're
hooking
gonna be.
over or something. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
I am 6'5", so I won't have a problem with the.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
you're good. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna be like that Kobe Bryant meme, be like in the far back, just looking. I'm gonna be looking at the stage and like, man, yeah. So, y'all enjoy your evening. Y'all enjoy your week. Congrats to you both again. That's I Hate Corey. That's Trust Phil, or Trill Phil, excuse me. Um, check it out, man. Cloud 1100 this weekend. Um, First Street, man. This is coming midnight tonight. So, yeah, have a good night, man. Thanks again for your time.
Kenny, thank you, brother. Much love, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Peace. Yep. You have a good
Yep.
night.
You too, brother.
All right. Peace.